Yo, what is up guys? So today we're going to be showcasing off the ultimate synchro monster. We're going to be talking about the new red SuperNova dragon, which has a super amazing effect to banish everything that your opponent has as a quick effect whenever they activate a monster effect. Plus, it's going to go ahead and actually come right back during your next end phase, so you can just activate its effect again. And on top of that, because it has to be an ultimate boss monster, it can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And it also gets boosted up by 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. And since it requires 3 tuners, it comes out at minimum 5,500 attack. So pretty much most monsters can't actually attack over this monster. And on top of that, it's going to get more and more powerful because you're going to be trying to go for more of the red SuperNova dragons. But guys, the last duel in the replay that I'm going to be showing you guys is so amazing. So make sure you guys watch till the end. I usually don't say that, but this duel is straight up anime at the very end. But I want to go ahead and start off with the introduction and kind of talk a little bit more about this card. But yeah, it does come back during your next end phase. So what you want to try to do is get out this monster and then put up as much as you can to block, because nowadays in Yu-Gi-Oh, if you leave your board open, you're susceptible to actually just straight up losing, right? A lot of different decks can OTK, but with this card, it will go away, but you're going to be banishing everything that your opponent has. And he tries to chain the Lord of the Red to actually pop the card, but it's immune to being destroyed anyways because it's an ultimate boss monster. And I think a lot of people that really love synchros will be very excited about this card because it is a really good card. I mean, if you know that your opponent happens to have something that can maybe destroy it via a card effect, you just go ahead and activate this. They lose everything that they have. And if they've basically invested into their board, if you make multiples of these, because one will be coming back on the next end phase over and over, you just start banishing everything your opponent has, and then you just swing directly for a game because they have no card because you banished them all. So let's go ahead and check out a few of these duels over here, and we'll also talk a little bit about it. And then I want to show you the ultimate one. Now this guy's playing Crystal Beast over here, and before you laugh and say, why dude, he's Crystal Beast. Hey yo, they just got new support, alright? But nonetheless, the main core concept of this is actually Junk Speeder. So when this card is Synchro Summon, you can just special summon as many Synchron tuners as possible with different levels from your deck, which makes it super easy just to go right into the red SuperNova dragon. And one thing I do want to mention is make sure you happen to have extra monsters that you can throw out. Now he goes ahead and attacks directly, and then he just rage quit because he lost every single thing by the Super Red Nova Dragon. A lot of people right now are not reading this, so it's probably going to be a pretty good deck to go ahead and play because your opponent is not going to be reading. I know that duel, like, it was kind of a blowout. He had no chance, but we'll catch a better duel in a moment here. So this one's up against Luna Light. Luna Lights are actually very strong and powerful to splash into everything. I know Orcus Luna Light was super popular for like 2 weeks, and everyone went back to the Sky Striker Orcus. But nonetheless, it's a very, very powerful deck. Again, your average play is going to be summon red SuperNova Dragon, and then you're going to go ahead and try to throw up as much extra defense as possible so you don't get OTK'd. But you're going to be able to go ahead and banish a lot of stuff that your opponent has. Usually you'll hit like 3 cards on average, I would say, especially against like any Pendulum deck. Like, look at that. Like, it's very hard for a lot of decks to come back from that. But this guy is going to be a little bit more resilient. He's got some plays. He goes ahead and makes Utopia, but that's going to go ahead and get effect there. He's going to go ahead and save this because it is a quick effect where you're going to be able to detach material to add the double or nothing from your deck to your hand. So he's going to attempt to go ahead and act that effect again, but Ash Blossom is going to go ahead and say no to that. And once again, so the key goal with this deck is to make multiple copies of the red SuperNova Dragon, because the first one is a little bit risky because the first one you go for, and then you have like one monster, and again, you're going to be banishing everything. You just try not to get OTK'd. That's the goal. And then the second one that you summon, usually it's going to be game because you have this rotation. If any of you guys have played like the Garunix variants, that's kind of what this deck almost reminds me of, but although you banish everything that they have, so it's all spells and traps. So if you go first with this deck and you're playing against a stun deck, oh, dude, they just lose everything unless they actually stop this. But this one over here is absolutely amazing, and this is why I said wait for this. This one against this hero player is an amazing duel. But anyways, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far. If you did, drop a like on this video right now because this is so amazing. Look how minus we go because we've activated Magical Mallet multiple times here. We got the reload as well. Activating that, we only need 3 cards. That's all we need. Actually, you really need 2 cards to completely go off with this combo, which essentially are going to be the Junk Converter and like another card that you can discard. And then you go ahead and just resummon all the cards, and then you go right into the Junk Speeder. Spam the board with a bunch of monsters. Go ahead and make your red SuperNova Dragon and pass with this plus another monster. And again, this is just extra defense here. But when you banish everything your opponent has, usually they'll have maybe like 1 to 2 monsters, and that's kind of how the deck works. So he's going to go ahead and go for Ferris, and then he's going to go ahead and increase summon a Vion, activate that effect, and he's going to go ahead and activate the Super Nova Dragon. Gonna go ahead and clear the board over there. So he loses out on his Mally, which is unfortunate for him. He still has one more over here, but he completely got his play disrupted. And now we're gonna go ahead and see him go for another one of the red SuperNova Dragon. And now we're on our second one. This is really where it's very difficult for most decks to deal with double of these. I'd say most of the time when you can secure double red SuperNova Dragons, you've won the game. So he's going to go ahead and activate E-Call. And by the way, it's not a once per turn. I mean, as in, like, once you activate one, that one obviously goes away. But you can still activate another one. And when you can get triple, which we'll see here very soon, it's very difficult. It's like triple negates and they lose everything. It's not even just like you negate and destroy like the card. If they've got like, you know, other back row, they've got other like, continuous cards, field spells, whatever the case may be. He goes ahead and makes Mally Bane, pops everything, and with no monsters left on the field, he's going to be able to swing it directly over here. And now we've got the Junk Synchron. Go ahead and bring him back our Converter. Go ahead and make Speeder. Once again, just a basic 2-card combo, and you just spam the board with your monsters. And we see Reborn summoned over, gonna get us another summon. He's gonna go ahead and attack. He activates the Honest Neos here. Now, Honest Neos only increases the card by 2,500. I think he should have let this gone through, but he's like, yo, we'll just banish the card over here. Nonetheless, he loses out on that Malicious Bane, and he's gonna have the other SuperNova Dragons coming back. So we got triple of the cards coming right back into the game. And this is where you're like, okay, yeah, how could he lose? Well, I'll just watch. Hold on. He gets the Super Poly and summons the Starving Venom. He's going to go ahead and try to copy that effect, but that card's going to go ahead and get banished over here. But again, during the end phase, you know what's coming back. And he needs those cards to banish with Miracle. I guess he's like, you know, I'm just going to keep this here. I got another turn. He really needs to go ahead and utilize that. But obviously, as soon as he goes for that monster effect, he's going to lose it anyways. I think he should have summoned something, though. But nonetheless, I think he was afraid. And again, he doesn't have maybe the cards that he wants to banish for the effects of whatever he wants to go ahead and go for. But I think he was just like, guess his thought process was, I need this plus another card. But it was just too difficult at that point. Once this card has 9,000 attack, it's definitely a task. You'd have to add 0 defense mode, and then the effect will get stopped anyway. So I don't know about really coming back from that. But it was really cool to see triple. Like, the guy did him dirty with the triple SuperNova Dragons. But now that you guys have seen the gameplay, let's go ahead and hop right into the deck profile for this, courtesy of Stardust Yugioh, and I'll link his channel down below. He's always making cool things, and I like that you can actually get out triple of these in one duel, like, and having them on the field at the same time, because we actually are running 0 link monsters. You could theoretically maybe try to throw out double in one turn. If you can, that's great, but I just think it's very unrealistic. It's a hard card to make. It requires 3 tuners plus 1 non-tuner synchro monster, but nonetheless, here is the deck profile for you guys. So first off, 3 copies of Junk Synchron, 3 copies of the Steam Synchron, and then this card actually has utility. I didn't get to mention it, but it's during your opponent's main phase. You can immediately, after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control, and it's a quick effect. So it's kind of like a formula, if you will, but it's a Synchron card, so it helps out with the entire archetype. And then next up, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, pretty standard for any combo deck, or just any deck in general. And then we've got 3 copies of the Junk Converter. This is one of the newer cards here, and basically, this is just a 2-card combo. You go ahead and discard this card and then a tuner, and you can add a Synchron monster from your deck to your hand, which is always this card. Then you go ahead and use this card to bring back this card. And then on top of that, if it's used as Synchron material, you can target another tuner in your graveyard and then special summon in defense position. So that's really good. And then we have 3 copies of Fleur Synchron. This is just another Synchron at the end of the day. And this card is actually pretty helpful for it defending up. And then we got 3 copies of Jet Synchron. It can be utilized twice, essentially. And then we got 3 copies of Effect Vader. And we got 1 reinforcement of the army for, of course, your Junk Synchron, 3 copies of Desires, and we got 1 copy of Upstart, 1 copy of Foolish, 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 3 copies of Magical Mallet, 3 copies of Tuning, 3 copies of Reload. Like I mentioned before, like you guys saw in the replay, we activated double Magical Mallet and we activated Reload, and in that same duel, we summoned triple of these. All it really comes down to is just being able to have that Junk Synchron and Converter combo. Well, you really just need Junk Converter, although this card adds another Synchron monster, so you can really help out with that, adding whatever key card that you need. And then also this technically lets you send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, so you can get some good RNG maybe in your favor. And then we got 3 copies of Reload. Again, the whole point is just to turbo this card out as quickly as possible. And sometimes for gameplay, I do the same thing. And, you know, shout outs to once again Stardust Yugioh for this. But like, if you really want to show off the combo, you got to go ahead and run Magical Mallet and Reload. Is this practical in most scenarios? Maybe not, just as a heads up. But anyways, we also got 3 copies of Call because you don't want to get your combo stopped. But yeah, triple red Red SuperNova Dragon, the ultimate new synchro for the Red Dragon boss monster lineup. And then 2 copies of Salad Warrior, 1 copy of Black Rose Dragon, 2 copies of Signal Warrior, 1 copy of Wind Pegasus at Ignister, 3 copies of Stardust Charge Warrior, another draw power, and then 3 copies of Junk Speeder, which basically just lets you say, hey, summon this card over here, because it makes things much easier. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the duels as well as the deck profile. If you did, drop a like on it. If you are new here, hit subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out on the new Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And if you guys want to see me in replays of any of the other new stuff, I still need to check out the new water stuff, which will be showcased on the channel very soon here. But if you guys want to send me replays, feel free to go ahead and do so at AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. Attach the YRP file in the deck profile, and I'll give you a shout out just like my boy over here, Stardust Yugioh. Once again, thanks, man, and I'll link you down below if you guys want to check him out as well. He's making very spicy Yu-Gi-Oh content. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, and I'm signing out. Peace.